Yo, what's up everybody? So today I just kind of want to go over the Freedom Ascension GD05 full release. As of now, I think this is July 11th. I'm pretty sure everything has been released already and we're just waiting for all the alts to drop. This is about a week and a half away from official release, so I think now is a good time to go over some of the cards and we can kind of discuss what I think will be seen in the meta or just seen more in general. With the introduction of this set, there's going to be a whole bunch of new variety of ways to play, and with the new ban list that's just been installed, that's also going to be released on the 24th, there's going to be a lot of different type of style of play. Obviously they hit a lot of the aggro players, however there is still ways to play aggro, it's just going to look a little bit different. So I'm just going to go over some of the cards here, and then hopefully we have a good little discussion in the comments. Alright, so this is GD05 Freedom Ascension. Is our anniversary set. It's going to be very popular, very cool. I would try to get some if you can get your hands on it, but you know, try not to get scalped for them. So on the Gundam website you can find the whole list of cards for GD05 Freedom Ascension. There's a lot of new traits coming in that kind of are with the same series as from the cards we've already been playing, so it's pretty cool. We get to see maybe new traits play within the same series. For example, like a lot of these cards are from Orb. You know, you got the Strike Freedom Gundam, the Watt Fields Murasame, the Akatsuki, all this stuff is from Orb. Orb looks to be better than before. Very interesting, a lot of draw mechanics, and a lot of decently cheap units. They also have this really cool new M1S Stray Strike. This is the gun tank type card, and they did kind of ban the usage of this card with gun tank, so if you were to play this card you cannot play gun tank and vice versa. So like I said, I'm just going to go over some of my favorite cards here, and I guess I do really like some of this Orb stuff. I mean, I think this is interesting. The Akatsuki, it gets cheaper the more Orb units you have in play, so you can summon this, you know, for like a 3 cost or a 4 cost, I think quite regularly. It does have the same stats as like a Ale Strike, that's a level 5 4 cost, so you know, you might want to look at it like that. Also, when linked, it has a similar effect. It could return a unit to your opponent's hand. This one said level 4 or lower. Ale Strike does say 4 HP or less, so it's up to you what kind of flavor, what kind of style you want to use. But if you do want to play more of the Orb style, I would play it more to the ground with these guys. This guy is like maybe your mid-level boss monster. Seems to be pretty cool. Like, you can get this guy for pretty cheap. You can kind of flood the board out with some of these monsters, and they're pretty good. There's a lot of vanillas here, and there's ones that have like draw effects and stuff like that, so I think that's pretty neat. Next in the blue section is like these new Bio CPU cards. We saw these introduced in set 2 with the I don't remember their names, but the 3 Juggies that can rest a blocker when linked. So this is kind of following that stuff. So just new cards you can try to mess with in the Earth Alliance straight with the Bio CPU line. I think some of the major cool things would be this, like, well, in blue. In blue, I think it was okay. I think Hashmel's really awesome too. It's just there's no link to it, so it might it's weird to play a vanilla boss monster. So, but green, I think, is where all the cool stuff starts happening. Here we have the new Gundam. This is the new link to Amuro. There is also a new green Amuro, so it's amazing. It's Breach 5, and when you pair it, you can choose 3 Londo Bell cards, exile them from your exile from the game, and then you can force a battle with one of your opponent's units. So this kind of skips the attack step, the blocker step, and the action step. It's just a straight battle. With this, it's pretty much you're going to kill a unit, breach 5, and if it is linked with Amuro, you can then attack again with new Gundam. So technically, you know, it's really strong. You can breach 2 times for 5, minimum, I guess. So really cool concept. Forcing a battle is pretty strong. We'll see where this takes us, but you know, by playing this, you do have to play those Londo Bell cards though, which I don't think they're that bad. Next thing here is a new Academy boss monster, the Calibarn. I think Calibarn's pretty strong. When you deploy, when one of your EX resources is exiled from game, you may choose one of your units during this turn. It receives when it receives enemy damage, you reduce it by 3. So it's like every time you use an EX resource, it's kind of like an unforeseen is happening. It's pretty strong, and on deploy, this unit drops 3 EX resources. So Academy might actually start to see better ramp come in, and then using this EX resource, you get to see better usage and cards to play. That was the issue that Academy was having. Like, they would have all these cool cards and stuff, but there's not enough mechanics for it to get there and use it efficiently. Here's some of the rest of those Londo Bell cards. I think they're really cool, and they even give you some cheap ones. So I wouldn't stress about getting Londo Bell cards into your trash for a new Gundam's effect. They even gave them a bird mode. This is literally just a bird mode. A 3/3, deploy 1, or deploy it, get an EX resource, links to Londo Bell / Amuro Ray. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm assuming a lot of people are going to play this Londo Bell deck with green and blue colors, just so you have max chances of getting the links you need with Amuro. And even on the new Gundam, the blue armor is really strong. You know what I mean? You would rest the guy, and then when you're attacking, you attack and do it for the breach. So, really cool concept. Really seems like a really strong combo, but we'll see as you know, we get to start testing this on like Mobile Suit Arena or any other websites, even proxy testing. We'll see what people are coming up with. Hopefully, there's going to be some small tournament results, like online tournaments that show what's happening for Gen Con, because that's the one thing I'm really stressed about, is this is going to be legal during Gen Con, and I'm not sure what I want to play yet, because there's not enough reps for me with this stuff, but just trying to go over all the cool stuff I see. But yeah, Academy does look cool. I just don't know if it's going to be there strong enough to compete at the top tier level, but a lot of cool Academy stuff coming in here. And I think everybody's most hyped about is kind of this G Gundam stuff. This is completely new. New series in the game. Very hyped. This is the Master Gundam. You may, on attack, you can shoot 2 special move command cards from your trash, exile them, deal 5 to the first card in your enemy area. This is like a breach, technically. But you have to just banish the spells to use it. So the what's called, the G Gundam deck is very spell heavy, so I'm pretty sure you're going to be okay getting this effect off. But on the other hand, because it is spell heavy, I'm afraid that the G Gundam deck might brick a lot with, you know, the wrong spells for the wrong units. It's kind of be like the kind of similar issues Clan has, where you get the right unit, or you have like all the pairs for all the links to Amate, but all you have is Shujis and something like that. But it's cool. I mean, all the G Gundam cards are pretty strong, and you know, if you get the right pilot or the right command spell to auto link with the unit, then they really do pop off. So it's really cool. The other thing in red is the new Bio CPU cards. I don't know if they're called Bio CPU. This is the Earth Alliance Phantom Pains. Sorry, they call these Phantom Pains. This is the Sea Destiny, the engineered humans from that series. And I think this release of these Phantom Pain set of cards is kind of going to be the new style of aggro in a way. Especially because they're all super cheap. They're all like level 3s and 4s. And their effects are all kind of annoying. So especially this one links to Stellar. So once returned during pair, when this unit destroys the enemy's shield card with battle damage, right, that enemy player may discard a card. Or, yeah. And if they don't discard a card, you can deploy a Phantom Pain card from your hand level 4 or less. So it's kind of, when I do damage with this card, do I want to plus with my board by having more body presence, by summoning something from my hand for free? Or will my opponent go -1 to prevent this from happening? Now, some may see this and think that's really good. Like, ripping numbers out of your opponent's hand is always amazing in every card game. However, there's some decks that like to have some cards in graveyard, especially like, for example, like Lupus and stuff. Yes, although you rip a card from their hand, it's not like it's a dead resource in that deck. Sometimes, like by the end of the later in the game, they're able to use that monster to manage a deal too. Some other things would be like if you're playing against Neo Zeon, if you're playing the purple Char deck, you can discard the base and feel fine, because when you link with Char, it recycles that base. Same thing for like me right now when I play Providence, I discard Shock and Do whenever I can. This is another card that can, it doesn't really get me anything, but it doesn't really hurt me too bad. But I guess for most, I think for other decks, this could hurt them really bad. But it is cool. It's like either you go -1 or I take an advantage. So it's a really greedy, really strong card. So I think this is going to be really cool to see as a new aggro concept type deck. So here's the rest of the red stuff. Here's the Phantom Pain boss. It's kind of underwhelming in my opinion. It's just a Breacher, but it gets cheaper for... if your opponent has 7 more cards in their trash, this thing get reduced by 3/3. So it would be a like level 6/5 cost. So if you rip a lot of cards from your opponents, then this thing comes out earlier. If they discard a lot, this thing comes out earlier. So I think this is pretty cool. But when you link it, all it has is Breach. So some of the other stuff I thought was nuts. Like this is another card that rips from your opponent's hand when paired with a Phantom Pain. If your opponent has 4 more cards, rip one. Pretty cool. And then if you rip one, this card comes out as -2. It becomes a 1 cost for a level 4/3. So a lot of cool gimmicks, a lot of cool ways to start spamming the board, and also, like I said, it seems to be like a new style of aggro. Speaking of aggro, I think also the G Gundam deck, the MF, is going to be very aggro also. A lot of the stuff they link to is pretty cheap. Like there's a lot of level 3s, I believe, and level 4s. With the exception of like Master Asia and like a bigger Shining Gundam, everything is level 4 or less. So as long as you're hitting the right command spell that auto links to that pilot, you're going to be able to push into your opponent pretty easily. Okay, so looking at the purple stuff, what's pretty cool in here, I would say the Sazabi is pretty cool. This is the new Neo Zeon where you play the new purple Char. On attack, choose one of your units, destroy it. All enemy, then all enemy players choose one of their non-battling units and destroy them. So I kill one of my guys, you gotta kill one of your guys. This is pretty cool. It has suppression static, so really strong card. I think the concept of playing this deck might be a little difficult. It focuses on destroying my monsters to get my effects, and although some of my purple cards have that, it depends which style of Neo Zeon you want to play, or what type of direction you want to play this with. Some people have been playing or trying to play this with green, with the regular Char's Navel, and then with the Zaku that can search. Because if this guy destroys that Zaku, it's still okay. Like you still get to search for a Zeon or Neo Zeon. Or if you play this with red, there's a lot of red Neo Zeons that on destroy, you can deal some damage or something. So it's not bad. It's just finding out what's your flavor, which way do you want to play it. But I do think it's a little risky to play because you're destroying your own monsters, and if you're not set up to start the recursion loop or anything, then you're just going negative in a way. But it's pretty cool. Cool concept here. Next thing here, the Exia Repair. I think this is pretty nuts. Super nuts. Like when this card attacks, if it's a level 4 or less that this is running into that's unpaired, it just auto dies. When this thing dies also, it mills the top 2 cards. So it's building your graveyard and it's auto taking care of a problem. So it's pretty freaking strong. This thing's always going to be trading up for the most part, as long as your opponent's monster is not paired. So pretty cool, pretty strong card for a little cheap LR. So I don't know, it's pretty awesome. But seeing this also makes, in my opinion, some of the more blue cards live, like Kind Heart did. Kind Heart will negate destruction effects. This is one of the things that Kind Heart could negate. So we might see more. I mean, we might see more of that effect actually be in play now with Kind Heart instead of just the draw one. Then the last thing in purple that's kind of new is like the Tekadon stuff. New Barbatos Rex. There's also a new Ryosei. So this thing's pretty cool. If it has more damage, it's stronger, and then you can attack and restand. So this keeps your unit safe after the attack. Well, just one, but unfortunately, this card does share the same level slot as Lupus, so people are really going to have to figure out what kind of ratios they want. Alright, and yeah, I'm going to show you some of these. For example, like this, for the Neo Zeon, when this is destroyed, you can add it to your hand. So it's pretty cool, so you're going to have something constantly to destroy and loop. But like I said, if it's not set up that way yet, then it's going to be a little tough. Oh, Destiny. I forgot Destiny too. So here's a new Destiny. Has first strike that's static when this unit receives enemy battle damage reduced by 2. So it's first strike. First of all, it like kills almost anything it attacks, and if it doesn't, and if it's being hit or something, it can reduce to 2. So it kind of keeps this guy pretty healthy. Pretty strong card. New boss monster for Minerva squad. But in my opinion, that's all. That's really cool. I'm really looking forward to the Neo Xeon stuff the most, and the Teganon stuff after. Like I mean, this came out as something to deal with aggro, but as we saw in the ban list, aggro got hit. So I don't know if this is going to be really seen anymore. Going into white. White has a lot of the wing G team, their whole squad's got like new stuff, and then we got like Shining Gundam for the G Gundam series. So it's pretty cool. Deploy, you may choose 2 MF unit cards in your trash, exile them from the game. If you do choose 1 special move command card from your trash, add it to your hand, so you can banish 2 to recycle 1. It's nice. Like I said, this deck is gonna require you to play a lot of spells. Good thing is, all these spells, after you play them, you can pair them onto a Shuffle Alliance or MF card or something like that. So they're not just being used and that's it, they're being used and recycled under a unit. So it's pretty good. Like I said, you just really want to have the matching ones. Other crazy thing is this wing. Insane, has suppression, level 6. While your opponent has a rested unit, it's a level 6 with suppression. But on attack, you can choose an enemy and arrest it. So this guy's almost always going to have suppression. Really good. Level 6. It does share the same slot as the starter deck wing, so we'll see how the ratios add up. I think the starter deck wing is one of the most annoying cards in this entire game, but I don't know. If this starts to get replaced with it, then we'll see. I feel like this one's a little easier to deal with, because if they put green hero on it, it's only at 6 health instead of 7 health, but getting hit by suppression is also pretty annoying when they have the top end that has high maneuver. So pretty nutty. It has armor built in. I don't know. This is freaking stupid in my opinion. Really good in a stupid way. And like, yeah, all their friends also got cards. So like, there's a Sandrock custom and there's a Talgeese. But yeah, the wing is ridiculous. New Altron's kind of mid. Death Sight's okay. Like, it can attack without being paired right away. So it's just like getting rid of a problem. But everything else is kind of okay. There's a lot of G Gundam little guys. But this is what I mean by, like, if you really want to hit the right cards. Like, this is Argo's Bolt Gundam. If you don't have Argo's spell, it just pairs with anything else. It's not bad, but it's not going to be optimal. But it's all good. On to the pilots. So, pilots here, they're pretty good. The Kira one's a little lackluster. The Kigali one's a little all the Orb pilots are a little lackluster. I feel like the units are pretty good with Orb, and I think it would have been crazier if like they had amazing pilots that had lingering effects that are really strong. This new Kira is level 5. It's a 2/2 stat line. It's just a new Banager links. When linked, you draw 1. So it's not bad. I mean, the appeal with Banager is you were able to cycle them with the Destroy Unicorn. But, I mean, having another Kira in general for some of its units already is really strong. Like, Airstrike has a bounce. Freedom now gets even stronger. Like, Freedom will have a 6/8 stat line if you're using the original Freedom. So, there might see more Kira usage. It's just the stat, or the effect wasn't the greatest to me. Some other key cards right here is the Amuro. Now, this thing's insane. Remember the new Gundam, the big one? This forces a auto battle if you have 3 Law Nobels and you exile them trash. Well, if you have this Amuro paired to it, when it destroys that unit, you also recover 2 HP if you're not, if your unit's not destroyed. So, pretty insane. Some of my buddies also were saying, like, you can put this on the starter deck wing, and then if you have Peace Million, you'll heal 4 instead. I mean, it's a huge ask, huge setup, but I mean, if it works, it works. But I think this Amuro is pretty strong. What else is there? Prospero Mercury, it's okay, kind of boost everything. So, not crazy, but I think it could be pretty strong if you. Like, the problem with Academy is it just needs a lot of setup. Once it's set up, it's good to go, but it just needs a lot of setup. This is the most interesting pilot that came from this set. This is Master Asia, and on burst you can add this to hand, or if there are 3 more MF cards in trash, you may deploy this as a unit instead. That has 3/3. Cool. I mean, it's like the show. This guy freaking fights things with his fist, so it makes sense. And then during link on attacks, if you have activated a special move command spell, you can choose one enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. It's pretty strong. It's like on attack, if I use the spell, I have also close combat, and regardless, the special move card for Master Asia, Start in his finger, is also just like a close combat. So you could be swinging and dealing like 4 damage or something. So it's pretty strong. But having the option to summon it as a unit is pretty insane. This is Stella. So this is the pilot that goes to that aggro card that forces your opponent to discard or I summon. So it's a level 3 pilot, right? Personally, not a big fan of level 3 pilots. I mean, the only one you really see used is Char. But like I said, it's since aggro is dead, like Weenie War aggro, this might be a new way to play aggro, starting level 3 and just forcing your opponents to go neg, or you just plus hard at level 3. So this is one of those things. It's pretty good on destroy. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's a Phantom Pain card, you can add it or return everything to the bottom. Remember what it links to too. When it swings, you can deploy something. So it's pretty good. I don't know. It's just it kind of, they don't have like a matching effect for them to bounce off each other, but just being able to swing if they block it, if they kill it or whatever, you have another follow up is pretty nice. It is a level 3 pilot though. Like I said, not that much of a fan. The next 2 cards are also the Phantom Pain, and they're all level 3 pilots. So like I said, not a big fan of these things, but if level 3 aggro with Phantom Pain is the way to go, it might be the way to go. But like I said, I'm not that sure yet. I haven't been testing this set yet. I'm just pointing stuff out that's been really interesting to me. Here's a new Char. When linked, you can deploy a Neo Zeon base from your trash. It's kind of like, what's his name? The Raleigh Creuset, so it skips a step for adding it to your hand. It forces you to play it. Not bad. I mean, the base the Neo Zeon plays is really fitting with the playstyle of if I destroy my guy, something happens. So it works out well. This is the other pilot quest. On destroy, choose one of your Neo Zeon units. During this turn, when it receives enemy battle damage, reduced by 2, so it's kind of like the defensive thing. You can pair this onto the quest's unit, have the Sazabi destroy it, make Sazabi take 2 less, and you get to recycle that unit there. So, very interesting style. Dolmon's going to be a cool pilot. When paired, draw 1 to discard 1. If you discard a special move card, you may activate it. So, free spell usage is always amazing. I feel like this with the new Shiny Gundam might be one of the best level 4 plays if possible right now, or it's going to be. I don't know, some other cool stuff. I mean, like the whole G team stuff is pretty strong. This is another hero. Its effect is kind of mid, but the effect that it's the thing that it's a hero UE, so slapping this on any of those wing Gundams and attacking is going to be a threat to you. So when this unit destroys the enemy shield area with battle or with damage, choose one enemy unit, gets -2. So it's kind of like setting the board up for the next guy to attack, but it's alright. It's pretty good. It's not crazy though. Shro is kind of whatever. It's a draw discard. It's a net 0 effect, but it's alright. It does activate a lot of his old cards now that no one really wanted to play, but now people might want to since it's a real pilot. The real breadwinner for this G team stuff, in my opinion, is his Quatre. When paired, choose an enemy unit level 5 or lower and rest it. This is kind of just like Amuro Ray from set 1. Difference is this is by level and that one's by HP. So, I mean, people complain a lot about Amuro. Assuming, since this has a similar thing, people might complain about this card too. But we'll see. It's just on pair, so you can actually splash Quatre into a lot of other decks too. Other interesting things from this set. I don't know. Like I said before, all command spells to me seem kind of iffy. You do need some to play, however you don't need them to win. I think unless you're playing G Gundam now, you really need them. But there are some cool ones, like very interesting ones at least. This is the level 10 cost one, where on first you get an EX resource, on main choose one player, destroys the 2 shield area cards. You can attack with just using spells, so pretty interesting. The main interesting spells here are going to be the G Gundam ones. So here's Darkness Finger. On burst, activate its main, choose one unit, deal 2 damage to it. Then if you have Master Gundam, you draw 1 card. So this is kind of like a cheaper close combat cost-wise, but it is level 4. Airframe Seashore, this is pretty good. This is a way to build your graveyard. So this is like overflowing without overflowing. It is a worse version of overflowing, but it's just a cheaper cost. So on main, discard 1, draw 2, right? So whenever there's a card that discards first, it's not as good as a card that draws first, you know, because you want to see all your options to discard. This is your force to discard something first, and you could potentially draw worse things. But I mean, if you're playing in a deck that needs that graveyard build, this is going to be good. And if you're not playing overflowing, you're not playing the white color, this is one that can replace that slot. So yeah, these are the MF Gundam Fighter G Gundam spells. So like I said, once you activate these, they all say you may pair this card with one of your MF units. So like I said, if you get the right ones all the time, you're in. If you don't, then it gets a little weird, but it's not like they're terrible. Like they still have effects they can activate, and they still get the stats. I think that's the more important thing. Yeah, this is crazy. Destroy all the units level 4 lower, but we might see more spells being used, and that's a good thing. I mean, here's a new Zex Marquise. Also, if people want to play Epion, they would have to just play this command card as your second type of pilot. A lot of things this set opens up, so we'll see what happens. The bases are pretty cool in here. For example, like I said, Orb seems like it could be strong, like just a vanilla strong type deck, but because the pilots are so bad, or just kind of weaker, I don't think, we'll see. But this base, it makes it so Orb units takes 2 or less effect damage would be negated. So like purple decks, when you ping them for 1, they won't take it. Darkness Fingers and stuff won't take it. So it's a way to dodge spells and stuff. It's pretty cool. What else is really cool? The Rack Harlem. So this is the Londo Bell. Same thing. Whenever it takes damage, reduce it by 1. So your new Gundam, if you can't get rid of it, that thing's gonna be a threat forever. Quiet Zero is pretty strong. This is the Academy one. Once per turn, if you have a Gundam Aerial level 5 or higher, you could pay 2, right? And then summon 1 Geno token. So this thing has 2/2 with Breach 1 on it. It can slowly swarm. It's pretty annoying. So this is the other one that's really cool. The Gertie Lu. This is the Phantom Pain base, and it just says you can choose 1 enemy and it can't activate blocker. So it's pretty disrespectful. Like I said, this seems like to be the next aggro deck that's coming out that they're really pushing. Other than that, I don't know. Everything else is, I mean, I'll just go through the rest of the bases. All the bases I think are pretty interesting. This is the G Gundam one, the Gundam Fighter one. You can rest it and give a Link MF plus 2 attack. This is the new Neo Zeon one. This is the one that Char can recycle a lot. So this is pretty good. You could rest a space. If one of your units have been destroyed by one of your Neo Zeon card effects, you can deploy 1 Neo Zeon units level 3 or lower from your hand. So with this base, Sazabi and Quest's, I don't know what her unit's called, but that unit, you can literally destroy that unit, it adds to your hand, and it summons back on the field same turn. So pretty strong. Like I said, you got to keep that it keeps that loop going. But if you don't have that loop set up, you're gonna go negative sometimes. So, and then this is a funny base. This is one of the ones that were released really early. If this base is destroyed, you have another one in hand, you can replace it. So, I mean, it's interesting. But let me know what you guys think about this set. I really like the set. I think I'm gonna try some of the wing builds. I was playing a lot of white-red in this past set, and I want to continue, but I don't know if I'm gonna like the Gundam Fighter, the G Gundam type of style. Granted, it looks amazing when the stuff pops off, but I'm afraid that it's going to be a little bit bricky, and I'm not a fan of that. But some cool things I'm looking forward to would be maybe like the Phantom Pain thing, maybe the Londo Bell thing, and even with that new red spell that discards and then draws 2, it might open pathways back up to make cruise control a lot stronger. So we're going to see what's going on this set. I'm going to do a lot of testing. I might stream some of the testing sessions too with my buddies or just with randoms online. Just to get a feel of this set. My main goal is to be confident and have a deck I want to play for Gen Con. Because they banned the cross play with the early game units, it really screwed over my usual new set pathway. Like I would when a new set drops, I just play aggro because aggro is easy. While people are figuring it out, I know what I'm doing already, and then slowly I lead off aggro as time goes on because new decks are arriving. That's ruined for this set, so I really don't know what I'm going into Gen Con with. Part of me thinks Neo Zeon will be still really strong because I can get to turn 9 more effectively, potentially, right? Or I can still play Providence because I like the deck I play, or try something new. But that's something for me to figure out, and hopefully you guys figure something out too. And if you guys have builds and stuff that you guys really like, if you guys are liking any new traits of these cards, please let me know what your favorites are and what you're going to be testing down below. As always, guys, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.